You know, I've been listening to the internet talk about this situation, and everybody's been talking about how I see both sides arguing about it. You know, oh well, Fifth can't expect loyalty, and nobody owes him loyalty, or you know, he should expect loyalty, and he don't play about his. So we're gonna get into all of that. For those that don't know who Big Meech is a kingpin. Right? Him and his brother Southwest T were kingpins. Kingpins in Detroit that moved their operation down to Atlanta. That ended up changing what the game looked like as far as drug trafficking in the United States at the time. While most people were trying to, you know, stay low key, stay out of the, you know, public eye, these dudes wanted to be seen, and they wanted to be seen at their biggest, as the biggest. Billboards and parties and diamonds and pools and mansions and hammers and soldiers and hang-arounds and tag-alongs and leeches and putas and, you know, all the things that come with it. Informants. And they did it big. They were known as BMF, the Black Mafia family. They got locked up. They got indicted. They went to prison. There's always been allegations thrown around. Oh, this one spoke, that one spoke. You know, Blue Da Vinci, which was their rap artist, he spoke this, that, the other. It was always talk. But they did what? How long did Meech do? When did Meech go to jail? In 2008, he was sentenced to 30 years in prison. 30 years. Sounds like it's over, right? 30 years, it's a wrap. It's over. How about Southwest T? They both got 30 years in 2008. Now, mind you, they're brothers, him and Southwest T. Big Meech and Southwest T, they did this together. And they're brothers, but they're brothers with problems. You know, they had beefs, and they had separate factions. I'm sure they went down for a lot of the same shit. So they went to prison, both of them, 30 years, right? And while they're gone, the rest of the world think that they're still balling out of control. But while they're gone, their family suffered. What you think? They was balling out of control and shit? They was doing big things? Nah, man, when people are in prison, especially the breadwinners, things suffer. You know? Family being first and foremost, right? From 2008 when they were sentenced, a TV show happens for them in 2020, 2021, right? 50 Cent made that happen. Somebody was going to come and do it. Somebody was going to come along and put up the money to take them life rights. They were going to get it done. So from 2008 to 2021, I wonder what kind of money they was making. But the main big kahunas were in prison. But 50 Cent made it happen. 50 Cent at the time was doing the Power. It started with the whole Power Universe thing. And, you know, he wanted to attack this BMF thing. He had the Raising Canaan thing going. He wanted to get at this BMF thing. And I thought it was great, right? Like, hey, that's dope. Let's get it. Hip-hop is at the age where now it's our stories that are going to be told, right? He didn't have to do it, but he saw the good business in it. 50 saw the good business in it. These are some of his stars, right? He's counting on this younger generation right here. He's actually building this younger generation right here. Nobody knew these guys before 50 put them on the show, period. So for those that don't know, there's Big Meech, and then there's Little Meech. Little Meech is Big Meech's son, who was just a teenager at the time, and 50 made him the star of the BMF show.
My name is Demetrius Fennery, and today I just did a XXL cover shoot with 50 Cent and the rest of the cast members from Power. I'm doing a cover shoot because I'm the star of BMF. BMF is Black Mafia family. So his whole story, his whole group, him and Southwest T, his brother, and you know, him and his brother made an empire. Telling their story, I'm playing my father. Well, 50 actually came and got me before I even knew I could even act.
50 came and got me before I even knew I can act. You couldn't. Nobody can until they can. 50 came and got me before I even knew that I could act.
Actually came and got me before I even knew I could even act at all. Before acting was even a thought. My dad called me one day and told me that he wanted me to fly to Atlanta in his presence so I could meet 50 for the first time and see the first casting that he was doing. You know, so I flew out there and it was lined around the street. And the first time I met 50, you know, it was just genuine. And I sat by him and we actually got to watch people audition for a couple hours. And the next day he called me, 8 o'clock in the morning, woke me up. I'm like, damn, 50 calling me. So I answered the phone, he like, hey, what you think about going to acting classes? I want you to play your dad. And at first, you know, sounded crazy, but of course, you know, I'm.
So think about that. They sat around the auditions, him and the kid. He brought the kid around. He ain't got to go look for that kid. He had no reason to go look for that kid. Listen, he made the deal with the arbiter, the benefactor, let's say, of the BFA name, which is Tammy Cowins. We'll get to her eventually, right? But when 50 made the deal with her for the life rights in the BMF show, 50 didn't have to go look for that kid, hang out with that kid. 50 didn't have to hang out with Pop Smoke. 50 didn't have to go look out for Chief Keef. 50 didn't have to do nothing for Dirk, the baby. 50 didn't have to do nothing for none of them. Business, business, right? We always say that, oh, business, 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 right? He had no reason to go look for Big Meech, son. But it's just the way his mind works, right? The way his mind works is, shorty's here. Look like the pops. This could be good. Let me invest in that. Let me boost that subject up. Let me boost that situation up. But my point is, once the deal is done for the BMF, that kid don't got to be sitting at no casting, watching actors. And I get it. 50 could bring them as a you know, hey man, does that feel like your father? Would that you know what I'm saying? As a consultant, yes, you could do that. But he didn't have to do that either. But when you do a deal with a family, you want to keep things in the good graces and all of that shit, you get it done. The deal was done, bro. He didn't have to be there at all. And he brought him there, and they sat around and they watched actors do work.
I'm gonna do it. I'm not doing nothing. So of course I wanted to do it, you know. What you think about
He said, I'm not doing nothing. He wasn't doing nothing. They weren't getting money. They weren't getting money. They was going through it, which is what happens to people. People go through it. 50 threw him a bone, man. And say, man, why don't you, would you be interested in playing your old man?
going to acting classes? I want you to play your dad. So they called me 8 o'clock in the morning, woke me up. I'm like, damn, 50 calling me. So I answer the phone. He like, hey, what you think about going to acting classes? I want you to play your dad. And at first, you know, it sounded crazy, but of course, you know, I'm gonna do it. I'm not doing nothing, so of course I wanted to do it. You know, I just didn't know if I could do it.
The draft from Randy about, because it was important to show the origin story, to see the innocence and how they chose to get involved, and then it grew. Well, I hired 2 of the top casting agents in California. They sent me photos of people who would be good choices to play the role, and none of them looked like him. None of them. I'm like, yo, nah, this is.
But that should be my problem with executive producers and with people in general, fans of shit. Man, you're not always gonna get the guy that look like him. Get the motherfucker that can act. Cause it's gonna be way worse if he looks like him and he can't fucking act. That shit's gonna be trash.
They sent me photos of people who would be good choices to play the role, and none of them looked like him. None of them. I'm like, yo, nah, this is not it. I had done the casting in Atlanta. I run into him then, but when I look at him, he looked like his daddy, like spitting his hair down like his daddy. The same thing, like it was like, yo, I'm like, he looks less like his dad in the show than he did that day. I got him from Atlanta to California and was able to get him with the coaches and have him be in a new environment where he can have that extreme focus to get ready fast.
I sent him to school, I sent him to coaches, I sent him to learn, to study, to go come play his father.
You know, so the intensity of just being that focused on doing it allowed him to achieve this in a short period of time. He was able to do it because, you know, like financially, I was supporting the idea, and I believe he could do it. He had moved to California and was working with acting coaches, and his dad didn't know that he was actually doing that because we had to establish that he was good enough to do it. Even his dad is the kind of person that doesn't like to fail at things. So he'll look and he'll say, is he the best person for it? And I'm saying, yeah, he's the best person for it, for multiple reasons. You can't find anything more authentic than him portraying his dad.
The kid wasn't on shit. The kid wasn't getting money. The kid was just, you know, holding on. I get it. I'm an actor. I want the best actor in that position. 50 wants that authenticity. You're going to lose that authenticity if you can't get this kid to act right, is my point. But cool. He made his decision, whatever it was. And don't get me wrong, I was excited. I think he did a good job considering the position he was in. I'm only showing you this to show you where 50 went creatively and out of his way for the family to put them in a position to do what they do.
The significance in him being able to play his dad, for me, the points that I get really excited about it is his dad, like when he was on the phone, he called and talked, he said, I don't know if you were conscious of this when you was doing this, but you moved him closer to me because he's spending more time thinking about things that we experienced, things that we did. He get a chance to do everything we did and he not going to jail. It's a different level of excitement for me watching him.
I see Fifth do this a lot. He does it with these young artists. He wants to give them the push, man, more than I see many other MCs, bro. And most of the time, he doesn't even get involved business-wise. He let them stay over there, get their money. He ain't into taking their contracts or their publishing or this, that, or the other. He comes from a noble place when it comes to the next generation. He don't just sign somebody because they're hot or this or that. You know what I'm saying? You got to be going through some shit. He got to see something from the gutter with you. So I see him do this for the youth, and he did it for fucking Lil Meech. And he put him through the classes. He put him through school for that, for acting. I was like, hey, man, that's kind of dope, you know? I would have loved to see Chris Rivers play his father. But if there was a better actor that could do it better, well, I want to see that guy. But Fifth looked out. Took the shorty, put him under his wing, sent him to school, got him the star role, got him a weekly check of buku dollars and mad residuals. 50 takes the kid, puts him season 1, season 2, very good seasons. Show takes off, right? The kid, you can see that he's a rookie, but he's doing good enough to play his daddy's part, and it's a beautiful thing. At some point, recent years, Southwest T, I believe around I can't say the word, you know, when everybody was wearing the mask. Around that time, Southwest T, I believe, was released. He was released in May 2020 from a 30-year situation. This is when he got home. This is when he came out, right? But shortly after, Southwest T hooked up with Supreme's son. So for those that don't know who Preem is 50's arch nemesis in real life. There's been many lore and legend and story told out there. Supreme was the older hustler in the hood that pretty much quote-unquote ran things. And 50 was the young up-and-comer that wasn't trying to hear shit from nobody. They had problems. So much so that Preem put money on 50's head. And 50 was then hit nine times. Survived. The guy that shot him ended up passing away. Preem ended up going to prison. Preem and his nephew, Prince. 50's been clear and upfront about his disdain for Preem. Preem is the reason 50 and Ja Rule beefed for so long, or one of the reasons. Preem was in cahoots with Ja Rule and them. And 50 got the last laugh, and 50 blew up. 50 blew up, Preem went to prison. Down the line, years later, 50 has a broken relationship with his son, with his own son, right? He feels like the son is spoiled and entitled and built like his mama. That's a story for another time. Well, one day, during 50's beef with his son, a picture emerged. And it was something that people often do to 50 and people do to each other in the game. They go take a picture with the op. 50 know the game too. It's the same reason 50 brought Juelz and Jimmy on stage when he was beefing with Cam. So this is what everybody does. This is what Rick Ross is going to do in this story. 50 is beefing with his own son, Marquise. And Marquise happens to pop up on the internet with a picture with Preem Jr. That is 50's arch nemesis in the blue jacket, son. And that's his own son in the patchwork quilted jump off windbreaker. 50 didn't like this shit. This was betrayal. Preem Jr. is always out there, you know, waving the flag for his father, which is what he's supposed to do, right? It's his own man. So then Southwest T comes out. 50's doing this BMF TV show. Southwest T gets a visit from, once again, Preem's son.
You got the front, yeah. I do the back.
Yeah, I had to throw that on there, man.
Yeah,
and listen,
nice.
this moment right here is monumental for me, man. I drove 9 hours to come pull up on y'all.
Nah, man, no shit.
9 hours, yo.
Man, listen.
You feel me?
Hey, listen, man, listen.
Yo.
Listen. From it's in your blood, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We all chose to wear life and stood on it. One thing I respect Puff. You know what I'm saying? I always respect him. It's in your blood, bro.
I appreciate
You know, he's an honorable man, man. And I know Chris don't speak highly of him.
Yeah.
I used to just sing. I never had the pleasure, but I used to sing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Look, if you ask me, Shorty drove 9 hours. Wanted some props for driving 9 hours. They're hanging out, bro. They're giving them the props back. Shorty drove 9 hours to go meet with Southwest T to take a picture with his daddy's shirt. All right, cool.
Yeah.
50 didn't like that shit.
Yeah, I had to throw that on
You got the front. Yeah, I do the back.
Yeah, I had to throw that on there, man.
Free Pre and Free Meech collab, right? All right. This is 50's response after that video came out. He said, hey, I know T feel like he's not making the money Little Meech is making. Now, you know 50's the king of an indirecta that hits directamente. He's all up in there.
I'm in your bubble. I'm in your bubble.
50's going to take the shot. He going to word it nicely. But he going to take the shot. So that's the shot. Hey, I know T feel like he's not making the money Lil Meech is making, but I thought they would all be happy for him. It's not like I didn't help your family make millions. Cool. When stars start suggesting the wrong moves, I'm simply going to sit and watch. Don't worry. You'll be off the air in no time. This is a long time ago, 32 weeks ago. Fifth is already making these statements because he's seeing what you're doing. So then, Meech comes home. Meech comes home and everybody's celebrating.
The streets are back.
Streets
The
are
Meech
back.
home. Meech, welcome back. Salute. All my other G's come.
Big Meech of the Black Mafia family has been released from federal prison and transferred to community confinement, where he will serve the rest of his sentence in home confinement or a halfway house. In 2008, Meech received 30 years for his role in the rug operation. Everybody was celebrating. The whole world was cheering. Some of us were sitting around talking about, yeah, but are they going to care about the Tammy Cowins stuff? And everybody's like, oh, don't talk about that. You're a hater. You're racist. You're this, you're that. Okay. All right. Cool. So then I see this, a video of Supreme's son, salty about everybody celebrating Big Meech, because Prince came home around that time too.
Yo, something very, very, very disturbing came to my attention, right? It's early in the morning, so, you know, I got time to reflect and think when I'm driving and stuck in traffic and all that. So, I seen yesterday, it was all over the internet that Meech had came home, and, you know, everybody's talking about it, everybody's posting it, but my cousin, Gerald Prince Miller, he came home last month, and it wasn't the same reaction. It wasn't even half the reaction. So, in my mind, in my eyes, I'm like, yo, we don't celebrate the real ones.
So wait a minute. They're different people. Different eras. LL Cool J, the rappers, 50 Cent, dudes in Queens, they saw Prince. BMF had the early 2000s, they were being seen on everything, everywhere. And the stories was everywhere. Since the internet has been publishing videos. It's different people. That's one part. Second part is, you just said you drove 9 hours over there to give him a free preem, to give Southwest T a free preem, free Meech shirt. But now you say, what, we don't celebrate the real ones? So are you insinuating that Meech is not a real one?
Even half the reaction. So in my mind, in my eyes, I'm like, yo, we don't celebrate the real ones. We don't celebrate somebody that did 34 years in the penitentiary that never had no allegations, no type of smudge, no type of smear on their name, none of that. Like, we don't celebrate those.
So what are you referring to, Junior? You referring to Tammy Cowins? You referring to third-party cooperation, which we spoke about on this channel before? The story of Cuffy out of St. Louis, who said he pulled up the old setup through Tammy? BMF world famous, Preem NY famous. Simple. It's very simple. Guess what? 50 made Preem famous. If you really want to talk about it, 50's story, 50's rise is what put Preem on the radar for people outside of the know. That now know because of that.
34 years down, never told, never spoke, never chirped, never murmured, none of that. Like, we don't celebrate those people no more. Yo, something very...
So I don't know what you getting at there. Why'd you drive 9 hours then? Why'd you go glorify somebody that you felt like didn't stand tall like your cousin did? Then we see the picture of 50 Cent and Big Meech when Big Meech comes home. And I remember, I believe it was Upper Echelon and other people in the chat said, and people said in the comments, oh, that don't look like a happy 50 Cent right there. People saw this picture, said, that ain't a happy 50 Cent. That don't look like a happy picture. I remember saying, I don't take things like that because pictures are pictures. Pictures are a fraction in time. And the reason is because I remember somebody trying to instigate some beef between rappers in Chicago, showing me a picture of somebody with a screw face on stage and saying, look how he's looking at me. I said, dog, he bobbing. I was watching the show. The motherfuckers, I do the same thing. Had somebody say, I saw the hate in your eyes while you were watching the show. Bitch, I was enjoying the show. What the fuck are you talking about? That's just how you move, that you move like that, you think like that. So those moments changed my mind about judging a picture off of a look or, something said like that, in hindsight. And then we see Meech go get his hair done, get his nails done, get his jewelry done, get his teeth done. Don't get it twisted. He not sitting on no lot of money. Right now he getting the benefit of coming home and people handing over shit. So he's getting shit. He's doing, do a TikTok video for these people. They fix his teeth. These people get him some chains, whatever. I'm sure there's some money, some kind of money, but it ain't what I'm not trying to disparage him. I'm disparaging the people that are running around making legend out of nothingness. You know what I'm saying? Shit got to get to a place. He always wanted to be the guy. He always wanted to be seen. He wanted to be the superstar. He was the hustler that wanted to be the MC. Wanted to be he didn't do it. He did it how he could. By being seen. By buying out the bottles. By buying out everything. So right now, they're not in the position everybody think that they're in, right? So then most recently, Meech and Rick Ross popped out in a video, and I think it made Meech look bad.
February 13th, the Big Meech home benefit concert. It's going to be iconic.
Bro, he's looking crazy back there, dog.
Too many names to...
Hey, he want to get in the word. He's like, let me talk, bro. He keep waiting for his cue. He think that's it. I mean, hold on, man.
February 3rd.
All this leaning on his shoulder shit, you looking crazy. It's not a picture. I get it. People get out of jail. People are a little awkward. You lost a lot of time. Shit moved on you. Shit's different. Again, this is who he always wanted to be, though. He wanted to be the guy. He wanted to be the up front. He up front right now, right? Well, he on Ross's shoulder. Ross, the guy, for those that don't know, who stole his name and his persona from a real person who exists in real life, who he doesn't serve up one dime to. So a fake lifestyle, former correctional officer who took a real hustler's name, who went to prison, learned how to read in prison, and found a loophole to get himself released from a life sentence. This is who Meech is elbowed up on, but this is who he always wanted to be. He always wanted to be the rapper guy, okay? But this, to me, made him look weak. I'm not saying that he is weak. Probably could still pull some strings. I'm saying the look. Right? The look of it. Let's get it. This looks like a spoof of itself. Does that make sense? This looks like a mockery of itself.
February 13th, the Big Meech home benefit concert. It's going to be iconic. Too many names to list, but let me salute some of the legends. Lil Baby, Boss Man D-Lo, 21 Savage, Sexy Red, Ricky Rose. Now, this the first time it's ever been done. Me performing BMF with the icon himself. This shit gonna be special.
Epic.
Get your tickets right now.
I'm back.
He tried to say that I'm back like 4 times already. You know what I'm saying? His cue was all fucked up. But salutes, right? 50 didn't like that shit. And I don't see why he would. I don't see why he would. But we're going to talk about it because other people have varying opinions of this on the internet. Who was a correction officer? The rapper Rick Ross. He was a corrections officer. He lied about it. A lot of people think, hey, man, they don't owe 50 no loyalty. They got to get it how they live. Somebody want to do a welcome back tour, then let me do a welcome back tour. But that's why I'm unpacking it, because I see it one way and they see it another. But I haven't even really given you, but I think you can get the gist of what my take on it is. My take on it is 50 went the extra mile for you. You're doing shit to that's directly like a fuck you to 50. And now people are saying, well, why is 50 mad? They don't know him no loyalty. I don't know, man. Who else made your son a motherfucking TV star? What's the benefit concert for? The benefit is no benefit. It's welcome home. The benefit is probably for him. Give him some bread. Why? Because these rich dudes that been living off his persona, they don't want to give him none of their own. So they'll go do a show. 50 wasn't trying to hear that shit. Was not trying to hear that shit. Not even a little bit. First post. The truth and nothing but the truth. BMF. Who is? Tammy Cowins. 50 said, this is going to blow your mind. Doc U coming soon. The facts are stranger than fiction. Boom. The truth and nothing but the truth. BMF. Who is Tammy Cowins? All right. For those that do not know who Tammy Cowins is. All right. Tammy Cowins is a woman that is close to Big Meech, that has power of attorney for everything BMF, which is why she is the one that made the deal with 50 Cent, which is why she is listed as an executive producer on the show BMF. She's also, allegedly, by what Cuffy says, the information that's out there, from what Blue Da Vinci has said, and we'll go through that too, she is also CS1 in Cuffy's case and worked for the DEA to take somebody down and then utilize what she did as leverage to get time off of Big Meech's sentence. So basically, like if I hire somebody to snitch for me, third-party cooperation. She went and did a favor so that favor's payment can come through over here on Big Meech. And that has been the claim for a while now. And we know on this channel that people pick and choose with this snitching shit. For those that do not know, and my regulars have heard this 1,000 times, I came to this channel in full judgment of the twins snitching. I realized they were in a different situation than I had imagined. And it was a unique situation that no one in the world could relate to because no one in the world was in that situation. Aside from these guys. That's the word that has been out, is that, boom, he had somebody do a deal on behalf of him. And then people say, damn, but he still did 20 years or whatever he did. What do you think? The twins still have 14 and a half. They did 12 and a half. Some of these guys still get 20, still get 30 with all their cooperation. Apple had mad years and gave up mad bodies. But word is that Meech never got his good time for the moving that she did, right? For the confidential informant shit that she did. He didn't get the good time for it because she got caught sleeping with her handler. She got caught sleeping with her handler, so supposedly that's why he didn't get the short time. So she got caught getting nailed by her boss, or one of her bosses, her handler. So 50, he's saying, now that he's upset with Meech, he's saying out loud, like just like the U.S. did today to Mexico, he's pointing the finger. Now he's pointing the finger. He's saying, who is Tammy Cowins? But the question is, that people are asking after this, oh, well, 50. Now, to me, it was a no-brainer. They say 50, man, but didn't you already know who Tammy Cowins was? Because 50's trying to tell the world here, hey, find out who Tammy Cowins is so you can find out that Meech is a snitch. That's basically what he's saying, right? And now the people are saying, but damn, Fifth, but didn't you know that when you did the deal with her for BMF? Some people would say, nah, I bet you Fifth didn't know until now. Maybe it just got on his radar. I'm saying, not much gets past that motherfucker. Right? Can something get through the cracks? Sure, maybe. But not much gets past that motherfucker. And to me, it's a no-brainer. He's doing business. He missed him with the fucking, snitch talk. And the reason I felt like this, you already on record with the Flores brothers. There's already been work. You've already done a podcast. You already done posts about it. So to me, I just looked at it as, the people don't know that this is just business. So they're saying, oh man, damn, 50, you knew about Tammy Cowins. You still gonna do a deal? Now you want to talk about it? Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. He's using the tools at his disposal. He's going to pick and choose when he want to use them. Yeah, it was business. It's cool. Now this is you. Let me remind everybody on my platform how you got questionable shit on your jacket. While you running around here, parading yourself with my enemies while they're using you as a pawn in the chess game. In a chess game that they done lost over and over again. Am I wrong? Tell me I'm out of pocket. Give me another outlook on it, right? So people are like, oh, 50, you knew. You had to know. You just finding out now. So then, after this, he dropped another Instagram post. We talk about him like mixtapes now, like he dropped a mixtape. It's the scene where Henry Hill gets locked up for selling squares on the corner. And they told him, never rat on your friends, right? This is that scene. 50 Cent said if ratings aren't good, this next season of BMF will be its last. That's as cold-blooded and clear and concise as you could say something right there, huh? If ratings aren't good, this next season of BMF will be its last. So tune into Stars. I'm watching 50 Cent action on Roku. Never tell on your friends. 50 on that ass. Right? Everybody all hung up about, 50, you had to know about Tammy Cowins. So what? Oh, you had to know that he did this or there was third party. So what? He was doing business. And now that he can use it in a personal sense, now that you out of pocket, as far as I'm concerned, and you running around with my enemies, cool. I'm open to the shits. Let's get it. Boom. Then he said, 20 hours ago, Season 4, the final chapter. Be sure to catch the next season of BMF. It's going to be out of there. Or out of here. All right? He's an MC, man. You can't fuck with his puns. It's going to be out of here. That's as clear as it gets. Now, I haven't heard any responses. A lot of people's been talking about it. A lot of people been talking about it. A lot of people been talking about whether, he's bluffing or this or that or what. There's other things they could produce. The Twins show is right there. They got 8 Mile properties that they want to do. They want to do a reboot of 8 Mile. They got other properties to work on. 50 is one of them dudes that once you done crossed it with him, it's pretty much scorched earth. The only comeback is if he felt like he came at you out of pocket and, he felt like he was foul. That's the only way he's making up with you. You do something to him, he seems like a scorched earth situation. Nothing gonna grow there anymore. No, nothing's gonna happen. No more business. I got other properties I could pop off. Let me ask y'all something. Do you think a conversation was warranted for that? Maybe Meech just simply had to have a conversation with Fifth and be like, listen, man, all my favorite rappers, that I always wanted to be like, that all rap about me in their songs, want to do a welcome back tour for me. You know, I don't want this to affect how we don't know what the relationship between the two of them was, if it was contentious or not. And again, maybe I am wrong. But I'm just thinking, man, bro, I didn't have to put your son on this show. I didn't have to send him to take classes. I didn't have to, cast him. Yeah, he looked like you, so what? Wasn't the best actor. I could have treated it strictly business. Let another producer just handle that shit while I wash my hands of it. I didn't do that. I'm trying to open the door for other things, but as soon as your brother get home, he running around with Preem's son. My son running around with Preem's son. I get it. He want to live out his rapper dreams and be on stage with all his favorite rappers. That's cool. 50 can't be mad with everybody he hang out with. Now here's the kicker. Ross is sitting there like, fuck both of y'all. Huh? I'm using you to piss him off, giving you what you want. He's pissed off. I just fucked y'all whole shit up. That's gravy. When he says, who is Tammy Cowins? 50, you know who she is. You did the deal with her. Did you not know that part of the story? If you didn't, mea culpa. I'm sorry. My apologies. But if you knew, I would just look at it like, I'm thinking, okay, he's just thinking business. Same way he thinking business with the Flores twins. Same way he think business with White Boy Rick or anybody else. That's just my hypothesis.
About Meech's paperwork situation with the last interview that we had, and a lot of people had a lot of stuff to say. They don't believe it, Blue's hating. You know what I'm saying? And when I went back and I looked at everything, I was like, you know what, bro? It's only right and only one way to really do it. Only one way to really do it and just let Dog speak for itself. So I wanted him to call in, and this is him calling in during the interview. Go ahead, Cuff, man. You can introduce yourself and take the flow.
Blue, my nigga, what's up, man?
Yes, sir.
Hey, a lot of people, man, is thinking that this thing is made up or this thing is fake or that I have an axe to grind. You feel me?
Right.
But I'm in here with a 27-year sentence based on Demetrius Flannery, as you all know as Big Meech, and Tammy Cowins, known in the paperwork as CS1.
Right.
Confidential source 1.
Confidential source. I had the words all fucking high in my head.
What Big Meech did was call a third-party cooperation. So Tammy Cowins signed up to be a DEA informant to give Demetrius Flannery a time cut, plain and simple.
Right. So.
Okay. So, can you break down the story? Like, how do you know this? And how'd you come upon this information?
How do you know? How do you came upon this information, though?
We were rewarded what's called a Franks hearing. It's based on a case called U.S. versus Frank. So I would implore your listeners to look the case up. And what a Franks hearing entails is that you're able to cross-examine your accusers, meaning government agents, meaning informants, and so on and so forth, just like a regular trial. So this was testified in court.
Period. Point blank.
For those that don't know, this is Blue Da Vinci. Blue Da Vinci was Meech's BMF, main artist, and they're at odds now.
All right, then, if he did it to get a time cut, then how come he still did all that time in jail?
Well, what they don't understand is that he never received the time cut because what came out was that she had an illicit sexual relationship with Special Agent Keith Cromer.
Special Agent Keith Cromer.
She was smashing the homies.
Handler. But her first DA handler was the guy, as you should know, Blue, who wrote the BMF indictment, Special Agent Jack Harvey.
Special Agent Jack Harvey is the person that locked us all up, who's also the person that locked up Terry White, which was her first case as a DEA agent. And then he retired. He retired after he got them 60 years.
Yeah, he retired, and then her handler...
Real shit, motherfuckers, it's a web of deceit. Stay out the game. There's more ways to get paid in 2025 than there ever has been. There's more ways for you to lose your fucking money, that's for sure. But play to win. Because this shit is a loss, bro. These motherfuckers is going to jail. If it look glamorous to you, bro, the shit is 1 in a million. And that 1 in a million dude, he suffers too, bro. This shit's crazy. It's aware. This dude's in jail behind this, behind that. It's a trap. The whole shit is dead.
Became a brother by the name of Keith Cromer, Special Agent Keith Cromer, who was also...
The technology's more sophisticated, you know what I'm saying? The cutthroat cuts a lot deeper. Shit's crazy.
Fired behind this particular case. So Meech never received the time cut because unbeknownst to a lot of people, it's against the law to have a sexual relationship or any personal relationship with a government informant.
Somehow, some way, because I don't know how, she met Special Agent Jack Harvey. You could leave that up to question. How did Big Meech's personal assistant / the person that handles all this business / the person that owns BMF Entertainment to this day since 2008?
Special Agent Jack Harvey. She put up with Harvey.
So now she meets Special Agent Jack Harvey, and then she starts working for Special Agent Jack Harvey, but not for the Meech case. It was for a whole nother case first. It was for Terry White. But once that case went well, okay, and once that went past and Terry White got his 30 years, Special Agent Jack Harvey retired. But now she was ready to go do the case for Meech and help get Meech his time cut. So now when Meech came up, it was a new person that came on, and his name was what's his name again, big homie?
Special Agent Keith Cromer.
Special Agent Keith Cromer is the new special agent after Jack Harvey retired. Now he's her handler, and they engulfed in a personal relationship, sexual, however they called it in the court. And through that relationship, it tainted the case, and it was dishonorable at that point. They had to throw that out. That's why Meech didn't get out.
Let me tell you something that attests to something that we talked about the other day about Griselda Blancos. How dude said how they throw away all of these bodies because dude was having phone relations with the DA's assistant. Same way they said it right here. They threw out the situation because old girl got caught smashing the handler.
Case, and it was dishonorable at that point. They had to throw that out. That's why Meech didn't get out. So now you pose the question of why is my big homie Cuff still in jail? And go ahead, Cuff, you can let them know why, how that happened.
From that conspiracy, they indicted me on 2 murder charges.
Oh.
Subsequently, I pled guilty to 2 gun charges in exchange for them dropping the charges.
Now, how did they, hold on, let me ask this for you. Hold on, let me ask this for you right quick. How did they get you on something that was totally different from the case that Meech and them had you in a wiretap for?
Out of a totally different, nothing to do with the drug conspiracy, but they falsely accused it as being a part of the drug conspiracy. And then they brought about the gun charges.
That's who Tammy Cowins has been said to be. Fernando said, I want to know who blew the lid on the extra relationship. That's a good question. I don't know. I don't know if I've heard that. Answer. Maybe she wanted to keep him in. If it benefits anybody, it benefits her. Because now when her name is brought up, it's not brought up to shame her. It's brought up to shame him, to shame Meech, right? That's how it's been used as of late. Oh yeah, you wanna go hang out with my enemies? Bet. Who's this lady again? What she do? My mentality is this, because the backlash on 50 is, you already knew this Tammy Cowins shit. You only bringing it up now because he's with the enemy. And my answer to that is, yeah, that's what he's doing. If that's what he's doing, that's what he's doing. Why? Because he was doing business before that. And no other producer is going to take the kid that he had consulting him while he was casting, because he's the son of the main character of the show. What producer is going to take that kid and say, hey, man, you want to play your father? I know you ain't even thought about acting, but you want to play your father? That hanging out with him, doing those auditions, that was more about 50 feeling the kid's energy and seeing where he was at in his head and if he could handle it. Because Fifth knows how to read that, especially in a kid like that, right? What other producer is looking at talent that way and looking and saying, all right, this is a special case. You look just like your father. I think you got the charisma to do it. You want to go take these classes? No other producer's going to send him to go take classes. Producers like, get me the best motherfucker for the job. Get him for me now. I want to see top 10. I don't see nobody doing that for their family. And I'll tell you what I haven't seen. I haven't seen a lot of footage of Lil Meech and his father since he's been home. I seen probably one video when the old man was getting, I don't know, his braids done or something. I don't expect the whole family to, you know, have to consult with 50 every move they make. But, you know, when you make specific moves that look like you making moves, man, you might want to call that one in. Or I might have to, you know, send out the F5s. I'm trying to help you, and y'all are making this difficult for me. And I get it. Everybody expects to get rich quick. That's not how this works. Let's build this. We could spin shit off. We could make shit lucrative. Talk to me about these tours. You want a tour? I'll get all those same people. Leave Rick Ross out of it. Let me tell you something. He's the only one I see out there taking a look at the young ones and saying, all right, this one don't make a move quick, he's not going to make it. So I need to help give him a push to make this move, or the game's going to eat him or the street's going to eat him, one or the other. He sees it. Now, don't get it fucked up. There's going to be a lot of people that are going to think, oh, maybe this is 50 this is marketing. This is a fabricated beef. Huh? But no, you know, 50's not predictable for no reason. 50 has a modus operandi, an MO. You know what I'm saying? He's going to lay it out. Boom. Sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. Sometimes that shit backfire. He got to eat that shit. Now, there's going to be a bunch of people that, if there's hard evidence that Meech did do the whole third-party cooperation shit, which there probably is. I haven't dug deep into it. There's still going to be people that's going to deny that shit, just like people are going to deny that Mayo's talking. People are human, man. It's all bullshit already. It's imploding on itself, the whole shit. So my thought is, there's a problem. I don't know if they're going to fix it. That's a whole lot of shit to take back. You didn't say it's the last season. El finale. It's a wrap. So that means the next conversation after that first Instagram wasn't good. We missed this on the way out of the live the other night. Right before the live was over, this dropped. We had checked, but when we had checked, there was nothing there. And I was hoping, after I saw it, I was like, I wish we were live. And the reason I felt like that was, I felt like I wanted to talk about it then and there. It would have been nice. The reason it would have been on and popping with us talking about it was from what 50 said in the caption. The biggest mistake he ever made was not sustaining his relationship with Tammy Cowins. Her tell-all docu reveals the truth. Up to this point, I thought everything was gravy, baby, between Tammy Cowins and Big Meech. This was the first sign of fuckery that I seen as far as the two of them. Because my thought is, doesn't she have ownership of everything? Doesn't she have power of attorney over everything? Isn't she the one that's signing off on everything? But up to this point, I thought Tammy Cowins and Meech was gravy. When 50 said this, I said, oh, that's a wrap. That's it. Listen, you can't point your finger at her all these years and say she's his third-party cooperation. She did some dirt to get him a deal. You can't say that for all these years. And then when she starts talking against him, say, oh, she's full of shit, right? So she has to be pretty credible in this if she's going to come out and say what she's going to say, right? And 50 knows that. 50 saying that changed my... What? I didn't think Meech had a chance of... I don't know what they were trying to do, him and 50. But I knew, in my mind, that Tammy Cowins and Meech was good. After he said this, I said, oh, it's a wrap for Meech. The lames... The nut huggers are still going to be like, oh, no big deal. They're going to pick and choose. That's why they're lames. Not because it's no big deal, but because they pick and choose. Boom. Then I saw this on the internet, but I saw it on YouTube, and I didn't put it in the Discord because I didn't know if it was AI or a conversation with just some random woman, or, you have to be very careful when there's somebody whose voice, 50's voice is recognizable. But Tammy Cowins is not. So if I'm listening to an audio recording of him talking to a woman, and it's a excerpt of 8 seconds, and you tell me that that's Tammy Cowins, why the fuck do I have to believe you? It's just some woman that he's talking to. This dropped, but it turned out to be from him.
I agree. It's unfortunate, right?
Yeah.
It really is, but I agree. So, you know, we'll just let it be told when the story gets told.
Yeah.
And I'm only going to stick to the truth and keep it pushing, right?
That's it. That's all it is.
I agree. It's unfortunate, right?
I agree. It's unfortunate, right?
Yeah.
It really is, but I agree.
It really is, but I agree.
So, you know, we'll just let it be told when the story gets told.
We'll just let it be told when the story gets told.
Yeah.
And I'm only going to stick to the truth and keep it pushing.
Stick to the truth and keep it pushing.
That's it. That's
50 said, that's it. That's all I need you to do. Right? So then that dropped. And I said, oh shit, the plot thickens. They're on the phone already. They're working out deals. They've already done business. They did the BMF show. 50 not waiting. He's moving quick. He's on that ass. No games. It said, the caption here was, Tammy Cowins, nothing but the truth coming soon. Big Screech. Know what he was doing. Bro, you got to see the text messages Big Screech is sending. It's crazy out here. So I guess Big Meech is sending 50 text messages. And he said he had Tammy Cowins doing all this dirty work. Her new tell-all breaks it down. Screech directed her and connected her to people to get his time cut.
Paid the snitch now. Really classified. I can't even really talk about this shit, my nigga.
Oh my God.
I don't reason I'm telling you because you my boy. But don't fuck with me. You see what I did to Roger. You seen what I did to Roger. 40 years.
He had 40 years?
40 years, bitch. You didn't want to sign that plea? 40 years.
Dang.
Don't fuck with me. 40 and up, what you get with me.
Bro, you happy about giving people
Nigga,
that
you know how much motherfucking money they gave me for that?
How much?
$200.
$200. And then, this right here is the coup de grace right here. This is a conversation with Lil Meech. Or not a conversation, a one-sided blurb from Lil Meech to 50 Cent. They just told me you unfollowed me off of Instagram. And now you managing Skilla Baby with Rocket when I brought him around you first when you didn't have a clue who he was. Now you mad at me when I would take the shirt off my back for you? I can't believe this, man. You act as if I'm your enemy. I've only showed you love and loyalty in human. I go through my own shit, but I never switched up on you. Fuck Ross, but he gave my dad some bread so he can afford to pay his bills until our next season starts. This internet shit is throwing me off, man. You know me in real life. And 50's response was, what next season, little ninja?
Your services are no longer needed in the community.
Oh, the bomber clot. Oh.
So, there's a lot to unpack here, right? Lil Meech. Remember we talked about this kid? He's still a kid, right? He's in his 20s. Remember we talked about him and we said how 50 did what no other producer would do and took this kid and looked at him and hung out with him and said, hey, man, you know, wouldn't you want to play your father in the show? How about I send you to acting school? Huh? I send you to acting school. You learn how to act. And then, you know, you be on the show. I do the thing, right? We get you hooked up. Looked out for him. I played videos for y'all. I've dropped videos in the Discord. I played videos on this channel for y'all about the kid saying, man, I didn't have no direction. I didn't know where I was going. But Les said 50 is savage. Also said 50 gives 0 fucks. That sucks if Lil Meech will no longer be on the show. There will no longer be a show. To me, same kid that 50 looked out for might have got a little too big for his fucking britches. First of all, people get into this whole, oh, I brought so-and-so around, or I did this, or I did that in the music business and feel like they're owed something. No, you're not. Sorry. He said, they just told me you unfollowed me off Instagram. So somebody made it clear to him, 50's no longer following him. And now, so I know you unfollowed me, and now you managing Skilla Baby with Rocket when I brought him around you first, when you didn't have a clue who he was? Are you talking to the guy that brought you around first when nobody had a clue who you was? And here's what's worse. They had a clue who you were. They knew who you were. They knew who your father was, and you still didn't have shit. And nobody still looked out for you. Not Rick Ross. Wasn't him. So that's who you're talking to about managing somebody in the music business? Were you going to manage him? Huh? Were you going to give him his break? You're not happy that you brought him around and now 50's working with him? Was there some deal that you brought to the table that 50 didn't honor? What are we talking about here? They just told me you unfollowed me off Instagram and now you're managing Skilla Baby with Rocket when I brought him around you first, when you didn't have a clue who he was. So that was the first thing that stuck out to me. Like, damn, you talking to him like he's your peer. Huh? Why you managing dude for? I brought him to you. You didn't fucking do nothing with Buddy. You ain't had nothing to do with it, right? Then he said, now you mad at me when I would take the shirt off my back for you? The fuck does that even mean? You know what I'm saying? What does that even mean? Huh? What you gonna take your shirt off? That's some little kid shit. You trying to say some cool shit. You sound like you do on the show. You know what I mean? I would take the shirt off my back for you. Why? That came out weird. That should have been paused. Because 50 don't need the shirt off your back. 50 gave you the shirt off his back. Really, if you really want to talk about it. Now, evidently, 50 had to feel something to make him not want to fuck with this kid no more, right? Something we don't know. There has to be something we don't know, right? To me, I think it's like this. I think there was already some kind of tension over the whole managing Skilla Baby, whoever the fuck that is, and with Rocket, right? There was some tension over that, and the kid was probably acting kiddish, and 50 just not trying to hear that shit. Not trying to hear none of that shit. Miss me with the little kid, why you cut me out of the business shit. Now you mad at me when I would take my shirt off my back for you. For what? What would you do for him? Evidently there's something you didn't do. Made him unfollow you. He said, I can't believe this, man. You act as if I'm your enemy. I've only showed you love and loyalty in human. I go through my own shit, but I never switched up on you. What does that mean? I go through my own shit. Huh? Did you ghost him? That makes me think, what? Did you ghost him? Did you not show up for appointments? What happened? You went through your own shit, but you never switched up. What's the own shit? How does that affect 50? Probably in no way. Just annoyed him a little. Just like the shirt off your back wouldn't mean shit. Then he said, fuck Ross. But he gave my dad some bread so he can afford to pay his bills until our next season starts. All right. They're hard up for money, like we said. It ain't as gravy over there as all the fans and fanaticos think. But he gave my dad some bread so he can afford to pay his bills until our next season starts. I mean, I can't blame the man for trying to get paid, right? And if 50's not offering opportunities for him to get paid, what does 50 expect from him? This is me playing devil's advocate to myself, because I believe Meech should have at least had a conversation. But again, we don't know the business. 50 didn't do the business with Southwest T and Big Meech. He did the business with Tammy Cowins. So what are we talking about? But it shows you that they're not living the way everybody thinks that they're living. They struggling too, and the man got to make his money. I get it. Was 50 going to make up that bread for him? Maybe 50 could have had that same lineup of people do a tour with Meech and just not have Rick Ross on it. Is that part of that conversation that would have took place? Maybe, maybe not. So he could afford to pay his bills until our next season starts. So that just lets you know that whatever money Shorty made in these 2-3 seasons, that shit ain't cutting it. That shit ain't cutting it. They need some bread. They living off the Shorty right now. The Shorty blew his shit. He living lavish. He running around looking like his dad with the chains and shit. I know what actors get paid, bro. You're not that guy. You got one job. Only reason you're at the pay scale that you're probably at is because you're who you are. If you was a regular actor, that shit ain't happening. You got no experience, you got no work, you got no resume. Fuck are you talking about? So that money goes fast, and I see how he be walking around. So he ain't got no bread for the old man. Old man gotta go holler at Ricky Ross. Chickens everywhere, quack, quack, quack. I think 50 got some info about Meech we don't know yet. That probably turned him from Meech with all the smut on his name. He knew. But does he have the information? Yes. He got Tammy Cowins. That's all he needs. The one that everybody said was third party cooperating for him. And if she confirms it, who's going to call her a liar? You've been calling her the one for years.